Speak without fear. Leaders are not born, they are built. Introduction. Your voice is your power, stop giving it away. The moment you lost your voice. Do you remember the first time you stayed silent when you should have spoken? Maybe it was in a meeting, you had the answer, you saw the solution, but someone else spoke first and you thought too late now. Or maybe it was in a relationship, you felt disrespected, dismissed. But you swallowed your words because confrontation felt too risky. Or maybe it was just yesterday. You wanted to say no, you wanted to set a boundary, you wanted to speak your truth. But you didn't, and in that moment you gave away your power. Not to the person who spoke louder, not to the situation, not to fear, you gave it to silence. Silence is not safety, it's surrender. We've been taught that silence is safe. That if we stay quiet we won't be judged, won't be criticized, won't be rejected. But here's what nobody tells you: silence doesn't protect you, it erases you. Every time you stay silent when you should speak, you're telling the world and yourself that your voice doesn't matter. That your thoughts aren't valuable, that you don't deserve to be heard, and eventually you start to believe it. Your voice is not optional. Let me be brutally clear, your voice is not a luxury. It's not something you use when you feel confident. Your voice is your birthright, your weapon, your identity. It's how you claim space in this world. It's how you build relationships, negotiate outcomes, create change, and define who you are. Without your voice you are invisible. And invisibility is not humility, it's not modesty, it self-destructs. The world doesn't reward silence. Look around. Who gets promoted? The quiet person with good ideas they never share. Or the person who speaks up? Who gets respect? The one who avoids conflict, or the one who states their boundaries clearly? Who leads? The one waiting for permission, or the one who takes initiative and speaks first? The world doesn't reward silence, it rewards those who dare to use their voice. Not the loudest voice, not the most aggressive voice, just the voice that refuses to stay hidden. This book is your weapon. This is not a book about public speaking techniques. This is not a book about 10 tips to sound more confident. This is a book about reclaiming your power, about understanding that leadership doesn't start with a title. It starts with the choice to speak, even when your voice shakes, even when you're terrified, even when no one asked you to. This book will teach you how to speak when fear is choking you, how to command a room without raising your voice, how to build unshakable confidence from zero, how to turn anxiety into authority, how to lead without permission, how to make people listen when you speak, not through manipulation, through presence, through power, through refusing to be silent anymore. Leaders are not born, they are built. You think leaders are born confident. They're not. They were scared, doubtful, uncertain, but they spoke anyway. And every time they spoke despite the fear, they became a little stronger, a little more certain, a little more powerful. That's how leaders are built. Not through genetics, not through luck, through repetition, through courage, through the refusal to let fear win. And you can do the same. Stop waiting, start speaking. You've been waiting for confidence to arrive before you speak. It's never coming. Confidence is built through action, not before it. You don't wait to feel brave, you act, and then you become brave. So stop waiting for the perfect moment, stop rehearsing in your head. Stop telling yourself you're not ready. Speak now, today, in the next conversation you have. Even if your voice shakes, even if you stumble, even if you're terrified, speak. Because your voice is your power. And it's time to stop giving it away. Chapter 1. Silence has a cost. Speak before it breaks you. Part 1. The price of staying quiet. There's a lie we tell ourselves about silence. We say it keeps us safe, that it protects us from judgment, rejection, embarrassment. But silence doesn't protect you. It destroys you slowly, quietly, over years, until one day you wake up and realize you've disappeared. What silence costs you? Every time you stay quiet when you should speak, you pay a price. You lose respect from others, yes, but more importantly from yourself. Because deep down, you know when you're betraying yourself, when you're swallowing words that need to be said. And every time you do it, you chip away at your self-worth. You lose opportunities. The promotion goes to someone who spoke up in the meeting. The relationship stays broken because you never voiced your needs. The idea dies because you never shared it. Silence doesn't just cost you words, it costs you your life. You lose your identity. When you don't speak, you become invisible. People stop asking your opinion. They stop considering you. They stop seeing you as someone with value to contribute. And eventually, you stop seeing yourself that way too. The silent majority is not powerful, it's powerless. We romanticize the quiet ones. We say they're wise, thoughtful, deep, but often they're just scared. Scared to be judged, scared to be wrong, scared to take up space. And that fear, that's what makes them powerless. Because power doesn't come from silence. It comes from the courage to speak. Silence breeds resentment. When you don't speak your truth, it doesn't just disappear. It festers. You stay silent in the relationship, swallowing your frustration, until one day you explode. You stay silent at work, watching others take credit for your ideas, until resentment consumes you. You stay silent about your needs, your boundaries, your worth, until you can't recognize yourself anymore. Silence doesn't create peace. It creates pressure, and eventually that pressure destroys you or the people around you. The cost is higher than you think. You think staying quiet protects you. But what is it actually costing you? Your confidence, your relationships, your career, your mental health, your sense of self? Silence has a price, and you're paying it every single day. So ask yourself, is your silence worth what it's costing you? Part 2. How fear steals your decisions. Fear is a thief. It doesn't just steal your words, it steals your entire life. Because when fear controls your voice, it controls your decisions, your actions, your future, and before you know it, fear has stolen everything. Fear convinces you that silence is safer. Fear whispers, don't speak up. They'll judge you. Don't share your idea. They'll think it's stupid. Don't set that boundary. They'll get mad. And you believe it. Because fear is persuasive. But fear is also a liar. Because the thing you're afraid of, it's almost never as bad as fear makes it seem. And the cost of staying silent, it's almost always worse than the cost of speaking. Fear makes you reactive, not strategic. When fear controls you, you stop making decisions based on what you want. You make decisions based on what you're afraid of. You don't speak up in the meeting, not because you have nothing to say, but because you're afraid of being wrong. You don't set the boundary, not because you don't need it, but because you're afraid of conflict. You don't pursue the opportunity, not because you don't want it, but because you're afraid of failure. Fear turns you into a passenger in your own life, and passengers don't get to choose the destination. The paralysis of what if. Fear loves hypotheticals. What if they laugh at me? What if I fail? What if I'm not good enough? And while you're stuck in what if, life is passing you by. Because here's the truth. What if you succeed? What if they respect you for speaking up? What if staying silent is the biggest risk of all? Fear only shows you one side of the coin, and it's always the worst case scenario. How to stop letting fear decide for you. Step 1. Name the fear. What exactly are you afraid of? Get specific. Not I'm scared to speak up, but I'm scared they'll think my idea is dumb and I'll feel embarrassed. Naming it takes away its power. Step 2. Challenge it. Is this fear based on real danger, or just discomfort? Real danger, a lion attacking you. Discomfort, someone disagreeing with you. Most of your fears are discomfort, not danger. Step 3. Ask, what's the cost of letting fear decide? If you let fear win, what do you lose? Your voice, your opportunity, your self-respect. Is that cost worth avoiding discomfort? Step 4. Decide based on your values, not your fear. What do you actually want? What matters to you? Make the decision that aligns with that, not the decision that keeps you comfortable. Fear will always be there. Speak anyway. You're waiting for fear to go away before you speak. It won't. Even the most confident people feel fear. They just don't let it make their decisions. They feel the fear, and they speak anyway. That's the only way forward. Not fearlessness, just refusing to let fear steal your voice. Part 3: Why the world respects those who dare to speak. The world doesn't respect silence, it respects courage, and courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is speaking despite it. People respect boldness. Think about the people you respect most. Are they the ones who play it safe? Who never take a stand? Who always stay quiet? No, you respect the ones who speak up, who take risks, who aren't afraid to be seen, because boldness is magnetic. It signals strength, conviction, self-respect, and people are drawn to that. Silence signals uncertainty. When you stay silent, people interpret it in one of two ways. Option 1: you have nothing to say, which means you're irrelevant. Option 2: you're too afraid to speak, which means you're weak. Either way, silence doesn't serve you. But when you speak, even if imperfectly, you signal, I have something to contribute, and I'm not afraid to share it. And that commands respect. The world follows those who speak first. Leadership isn't about being the smartest or the most experienced. It's about being the one who speaks first, the one who breaks the silence, who offers direction, who takes initiative. That person becomes the leader, even if they don't have a title, because people don't follow titles. They follow those who act like leaders, and acting like a leader starts with using your voice. Speaking up is a signal of self-respect. When you speak, you're saying I matter. My thoughts matter, my perspective has value, and when you believe that, others believe it too. But when you stay silent, you're saying I don't matter. My thoughts aren't important, I don't deserve to be heard, and guess what? People believe that too. Your voice is not just communication, it's a declaration of your worth. So speak, not because you have all the answers, but because you have the right to be heard. Part 4: Your voice as the first act of leadership. Leadership doesn't start with a title. It doesn't start with authority or experience or credentials. It starts with a voice. The moment you choose to speak, especially when it's uncomfortable, you become a leader. Leaders are not appointed, they're recognized. You don't need someone to make you a leader. You become a leader the moment you start acting like one. And the first act of leadership: speaking when others stay silent, offering a solution when everyone's complaining, asking the hard question when everyone's avoiding it, taking a stand when everyone's waiting for someone else to go first. That's leadership, and it starts with your voice. Your voice sets the tone. When you speak with clarity, confidence, and conviction, you set the standard. You signal, this is how we communicate here. This is the level we operate at, and others rise to meet it. But when you stay silent, you create a vacuum, and vacuums get filled by whoever's willing to speak, whether they should or not. So speak, because your voice shapes the environment around you. Speaking is how you claim your space. You don't get space by asking politely. You don't get space by waiting for an invitation. You get space by taking it. And the way you take space: by using your voice, by contributing, by sharing your perspective, by refusing to shrink. Your voice is how you say I belong here, and I'm not leaving. The first word is the hardest, then it gets easier. The hardest part of speaking: starting, that first word, that first sentence, that first moment of visibility. After that, it gets easier, because once you've spoken, the fear loses its grip. The momentum builds, your confidence grows, but you have to start. So in your next meeting, your next conversation, your next moment of doubt, speak first. Even if your voice shakes, even if you're not sure, even if no one asked. Speak, because that's where leadership begins. Chapter 2: Nobody is born confident, they practice being heard. Part 1: Confidence is built, not given. You think confident people were born that way? They weren't. They were scared, awkward, uncertain, but they did the thing anyway, over and over, until confidence followed. Confidence is not a gift, it's a skill. And like any skill, it's built through repetition. The confidence myth: we see confident people and assume they've always been that way. But confidence is not a personality trait, it's the result of action. Every confident person you admire, they started where you are: scared to speak, afraid of judgment, unsure of their voice, but they spoke anyway. And slowly, over time, they became confident, not because they were special, because they practiced. Confidence comes after action, not before. You're waiting to feel confident before you act. But it doesn't work that way. You don't get confident and then speak. You speak, and then you get confident. Every time you do the scary thing, speak up. Share your idea, set a boundary, you build evidence. Evidence that you can handle discomfort, that you can survive judgment, that your voice matters, and that evidence, that's what creates confidence. How to build confidence from zero. Step 1. Start small. You don't need to give a TED Talk tomorrow. Just speak up once in a meeting, share one opinion, ask one question. Small acts of courage build confidence faster than you think. Step 2. Track your wins. Every time you speak despite fear, write it down. Keep a record, because over time you'll see you've been doing hard things. And surviving, that's proof, and proof builds confidence. Step 3. Repeat. One brave moment doesn't make you confident, but 100 brave moments do. So keep going, keep speaking, keep showing up. Confidence is built through repetition, not perfection. You don't need to feel confident to act confident. Here's a secret: confidence is not a feeling, it's a behavior. You can feel terrified inside and still speak with clarity and conviction. You can doubt yourself completely and still take action, because confidence is not about how you feel. It's about what you do. So stop waiting to feel confident. Act confident, and the feeling will follow. Part 2. The quiet ones who changed the world. You think you need to be loud to make an impact? You don't. Some of the most powerful voices in history belong to people who were quiet, introverted, even shy, but they spoke anyway, and the world listened. Rosa Parks. The power of one quiet no. Rosa Parks didn't give a speech. She didn't raise her voice, she just refused to move. One quiet act of defiance, one moment of speaking her truth through action, and it changed everything. You don't need to be loud to be powerful, you just need to refuse to stay silent. Susan Cain. Championing the quiet revolution. Susan Cain, author of Quiet, is an introvert who was terrified of public speaking, but she had something to say, so she said it. Her TED Talk has been viewed millions of times. Her book changed how we see introversion. She didn't become an extrovert, she just used her voice anyway. Malala Yousafzai. A teenager who spoke truth to power. Malala was a teenager, a girl, from a place where girls weren't supposed to speak. But she spoke anyway, and when they tried to silence her, she spoke louder, not because she wasn't afraid, but because she refused to let fear win. That's the power of a voice that will not be silenced. You don't have to be famous to be powerful. These are extreme examples, but the principle is the same. Your voice has power, even if no one knows your name. Every time you speak up in a meeting, you're leading. Every time you set a boundary, you're teaching others how to treat you. Every time you share your truth, you're giving others permission to do the same. You don't have to change the world, just change your world, and that starts with using your voice. Part 3. Speaking up when your voice shakes. Your voice is shaking, your hands are trembling, your heart is pounding. Good, that means what you're about to say matters, and you're going to say it anyway. The shake is not weakness, it's proof. When your voice shakes, it's not a sign of weakness. It's proof that you're being brave. Because courage is not the absence of fear, it's action despite fear. So if your voice shakes when you speak, own it. Don't apologize. Don't try to hide it. Let people hear the shake. It makes you human. And humans are powerful. How to speak when fear is choking you. Step 1. Breathe. Before you speak, take one deep breath, in for 4 counts, out for 6. This calms your nervous system and gives you access to your voice. Step 2. Start with one sentence. You don't need to deliver a perfect speech, just say one sentence. After that, the next sentence will be easier. Step 3. Ground yourself physically. Feel your feet on the floor, sit up straight, make eye contact with one person. Physical grounding creates vocal grounding. Step 4. Speak slowly. When you're nervous, you rush, resist that urge, speak at 75 of your normal speed. It will feel slow to you, but it will sound confident to them. Step 5. Don't apologize for your fear. Don't say sorry, I'm really nervous. Just speak. Your fear is not their concern. Your message is. Every time you speak despite fear, you get stronger. The first time is terrifying. The 10th time is manageable. The 100th time is easy. That's how confidence is built. Not by waiting for fear to disappear, but by speaking despite it. over and over. So speak, even when your voice shakes, especially when your voice shakes, because that's when it matters most. Part 4: Reprogramming Self-Doubt. Self-doubt is a voice in your head, and it's been lying to you your entire life. It's time to reprogram it. The voice of self-doubt: you're not smart enough. You're going to embarrass yourself. Who do you think you are? No one cares what you have to say. This voice has been running your life, and it's time to shut it down. Self-doubt is not truth. It's fear disguised as reason. Self-doubt pretends to be logical, reasonable, protective, but it's not. It's just fear dressed up as common sense. And you've been listening to it for too long. How to reprogram self-doubt. Step 1: Notice the thought. When self-doubt speaks, don't ignore it. Notice it. Oh, there's that voice again, telling me I'm not enough. Step 2: Challenge it. Ask, is this true, or is this fear? Most of the time it's fear. Step 3: Replace it with a better thought. Self-doubt: I'm going to embarrass myself. Better thought: I might feel uncomfortable, but I'll survive, and I'll be stronger for it. Step 4: Act anyway. Don't wait for the doubt to disappear. Act despite it. Every time you act despite self-doubt, you weaken its power. You are not your doubts. Your doubts are not facts. They're just thoughts, and thoughts can be changed. You are not your self-doubt. You are the person who acts despite it. So the next time that voice speaks, thank it for trying to protect you, and then do the thing anyway. Chapter 3: Leadership starts the moment you choose to be seen. Part 1: Visibility over perfection. You're waiting to be perfect before you step forward. You'll be waiting forever, because perfection is a myth, a trap, a lie that keeps you invisible. Leaders are not perfect, they're just visible. The perfection trap. You tell yourself, I'll speak up when I'm more prepared. I'll share my idea when it's fully developed. I'll step forward when I'm more confident. But more prepared never comes, because you're using perfection as an excuse to stay hidden. And while you're perfecting, someone else, less qualified, less prepared, is stepping forward. And they're winning, not because they're perfect, but because they're visible. Visibility beats perfection every time. The world doesn't reward perfection, it rewards visibility. You can have the best idea in the room, but if you don't share it, it's worthless. You can be the most qualified person, but if you don't step forward, you'll be overlooked. Perfection hidden is powerless. Imperfection visible is powerful. How to choose visibility over perfection. Step 1: Lower the bar. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be present. Speak up even if your idea isn't fully formed. Share even if your work isn't flawless. Step forward even if you're not 100 ready. Step 2: Reframe mistakes as learning. You're not failing, you're iterating. Every time you show up imperfectly, you're learning, growing, improving. That's not failure, that's progress. Step 3: Ask, what's the cost of staying hidden? If you wait for perfection, what do you lose? The opportunity, the promotion, the respect, your voice? Is perfection worth that cost? Imperfect action beats perfect inaction. Done is better than perfect. Visible is better than flawless. Imperfect action beats perfect inaction every single time. So stop waiting to be perfect. Start showing up now. Part 2: Owning the room without being the loudest. You think you need to be loud to command a room? You don't. Presence is not about volume, it's about certainty. The loudest person is not the most powerful. Loud people fill space, but they don't always command respect. Powerful people don't need to be loud. They just need to be sure of their words, sure of their presence, sure of their right to be there. And that certainty, that's what makes people listen. How to own a room quietly. 1. Enter with intention. Don't slink in apologetically. Walk in like you belong, because you do. 2. Make eye contact. Don't stare at the floor or your phone. Look at people. Eye contact signals confidence and presence. 3. Speak with clarity. You don't need to raise your voice. Just speak clearly and slowly. Clear, deliberate speech commands attention. 4. Pause strategically. Don't fill every silence. Use pauses to create weight. Silence makes people lean in. 5. Own your space physically. Stand tall. Sit up straight. Don't make yourself small. Physical presence creates vocal presence. Quiet confidence is the most powerful kind. You don't need to dominate. You don't need to perform. You just need to be certain. Certain that you belong, that your voice matters, that you have value to contribute. When you're certain, everyone else feels it too. Part 3. Respect is earned through presence. Respect is not given freely, it's earned, and you earn it through one thing: presence. What is presence? Presence is not charisma, it's not charm, it's not extroversion. Presence is the quality of being fully there, engaged, attentive, grounded. When you're present, people feel it, and they respect it. How to cultivate presence. 1. Be fully in the moment. Don't check your phone, don't let your mind wander, be here, now, fully. 2. Listen more than you speak. Presence is not about talking constantly, it's about being engaged. When you listen deeply, people feel seen, and they respect you for it. 3. Speak when it matters. Don't fill space with meaningless words, speak when you have something to say, and when you do, people will listen. 4. Stay calm under pressure. Presence is about steadiness. Even when everything's chaotic, you remain grounded. That calm, that's what makes you a leader. Presence is magnetic. People are drawn to presence. They trust it. They respect it, because presence signals I'm in control. I know who I am. I'm not performing, and that's power. Part 4. How leaders shape energy, not just words. Leadership is not just about what you say, it's about the energy you bring into the room. Energy is contagious. When you walk into a room anxious, everyone feels it. When you walk in calm, everyone feels that too. Your energy sets the tone, and tone shapes outcomes. How to shape energy as a leader. 1. Manage your own energy first. Before you enter a high-stakes situation, ground yourself, breathe, center, get calm. You can't lead others if you're in chaos. 2. Bring the energy you want to see. Want people to be engaged? Be engaged. Want them to be calm? Be calm. Want them to take action? Take action. Your energy is the model. 3. Use your voice to shift energy. Want to create urgency? Speak faster, with more intensity. Want to create calm? Speak slower, with steady confidence. Your voice is a tool. Use it intentionally. 4. Don't match negative energy. If someone's panicking, don't panic with them. Stay grounded. Your calm will stabilize them. Leaders don't just communicate, they create atmosphere. Words are important, but energy is everything. So before you speak, ask yourself, what energy am I bringing into this space? Is it the energy I want to create? If not, adjust. Because leaders don't just shape words, they shape worlds. Chapter 4. Fear is not the enemy, silence is. Part 1. Using fear as fuel. Fear is not the problem, silence is. Fear is just energy. And energy can be redirected, so stop trying to eliminate fear. Start using it. Fear is information. When you feel fear, it's telling you something. This matters. This is significant. This is outside your comfort zone. Fear is not a stop sign. It's a signal that you're about to grow. How to use fear as fuel. Step 1. Acknowledge it. Don't suppress fear. Don't pretend it's not there. Feel it. Name it. I'm scared, and that's okay. Step 2. Ask, what is this fear protecting me from? Usually it's discomfort, embarrassment, rejection, not danger, just discomfort. Step 3. Reframe it as excitement. Fear and excitement feel similar in the body, racing heart, adrenaline. So tell yourself, I'm not scared, I'm excited. Your brain will believe you, and the energy will shift. Step 4. Channel it into action. Don't let fear paralyze you. Let it propel you. Use that energy to speak, to act, to move forward. Fear is fuel, so burn it. The most successful people are the most scared. You think successful people don't feel fear? They feel it constantly. They're just better at using it. They don't let fear stop them. They let it push them forward. Part 2. Turning anxiety into authority. Anxiety feels like weakness, but it can be transformed into authority. Anxiety is just unfocused energy. When you're anxious, your body is preparing you for action. But that energy has nowhere to go, so it spirals. The key: give it direction. How to turn anxiety into authority. Step 1. Get physical. Do 10 push-ups. Go for a walk. Move your body. Physical movement burns off anxious energy and calms your nervous system. Step 2. Focus on what you can control. Anxiety spirals when you focus on what you can't control. So redirect what can I control right now? Your preparation, your breath, your first sentence. Focus there. Step 3. Prepare. Continue but don't over-prepare. Preparation calms anxiety, but over-preparation feeds it. Know your key points. Then stop. Trust yourself to handle the rest in the moment. Step 4. Speak with intention. When you speak, don't rush, don't ramble. Speak slowly, deliberately, with purpose. That intentionality transforms anxiety into authority. Authority is just calm certainty. You don't need to be loud. You don't need to be aggressive. You just need to be certain. Certain that you belong, that your voice matters, that you have something to contribute. That's certainty, that's authority, and it's available to you right now. Part 3. The 30-second rule to act before fear wins. Fear grows the longer you wait, so don't wait. Give yourself 30 seconds and act. Why 30 seconds? In 30 seconds, fear doesn't have time to spiral. You count down, you move, and you're past the point of no return. 30 seconds is long enough to act, short enough that fear can't stop you. How to use the 30-second rule. Step 1. Identify this scary action. What are you avoiding because of fear? Step 2. Count down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Step 3. Move. Raise your hand. Send the email. Make the call. Start speaking. Don't think, just move. Examples of the 30-second rule. Scared to speak up in a meeting? Count down. Raise your hand. Speak. Scared to introduce yourself to someone? Count down. Walk over. Say hi. Scared to start the project? Count down. Open the document. Write the first sentence. 30 seconds. That's all you need. The hardest part is starting, then momentum takes over. Once you've started, continuing is easier, but you have to start, and 30 seconds of courage is enough to do that. So count down and move. Part 4. Why bravery is simply the habit of action. Bravery is not a personality trait, it's a habit. You're not brave or not brave, you just act or you don't. Brave people are not special, they just have a habit of acting despite fear. They've done it so many times that it's automatic, and you can build that same habit. How to build the habit of bravery. Step 1. Do one brave thing every day. Small things count. Speak up once. Set one boundary. Ask one question. Daily brave actions build the habit. Step 2. Track your brave moments. Keep a list. Write down every time you acted despite fear. Over time, you'll see you're braver than you think. Step 3. Celebrate the action, not the outcome. You spoke up and no one responded. Doesn't matter. You still spoke. The outcome is outside your control. The action is what counts. Step 4. Repeat. Bravery is not one big moment. It's 1,000 small moments. So keep going, one brave action at a time. Bravery is a muscle. Use it or lose it. The more you act, the stronger you get. The less you act, the weaker you become. So use your bravery muscle every single day. Chapter 5. Your voice can move people if you dare to use it. Part 1. The psychology of influence through speech. Your voice is not just sound, it's a tool of influence. And if you understand how it works, you can move people. Why some voices move people and others don't? It's not about what you say. It's about how you make people feel. People don't remember your words. They remember how you made them feel. So if you want to influence, speak to emotion, not just logic. The 3 pillars of influential speech. 1. Certainty. When you speak with certainty, people trust you. Uncertain. I kind of think maybe we should try this. Certain. This is what we should do. Certainty creates confidence, and confidence is contagious. 2. Clarity. Confusion repels. Clarity attracts. Don't make people work to understand you. Make it easy, simple, clear language moves people. 3. Connection. People don't follow logic. They follow those they feel connected to. So speak in a way that creates connection. Be human, be real, be relatable. Connection is influence. The science of persuasion. Psychologist Robert Cialdini identified 6 principles of persuasion. Reciprocity. People return favors. Commitment. People honor their word. Social proof. People follow the crowd. Authority. People respect expertise. Liking. People say yes to those they like. Scarcity. People want what's limited. Use these principles in your speech and you'll move people. Part 2. How to speak to hearts, not just ears. Logic informs, emotion moves. If you want people to act, speak to their hearts. Why emotion matters more than logic. People make decisions emotionally, then they justify them logically. So if you only appeal to logic, you'll inform them, but you won't move them. To move people, you need to make them feel something. How to speak to the heart. 1. Tell stories. Stories bypass the analytical brain and go straight to emotion. Don't just share data, share the story behind the data. 2. Use vivid language. Abstract language is forgettable. Vivid language sticks. Abstract. We need to improve customer satisfaction. Vivid. Imagine a customer so happy they tell everyone they know. Which one makes you feel something? 3. Speak to values, not just goals. People don't just want to hit targets. They want to matter. So connect your message to something bigger. We're not just selling products. We're changing lives. 4. Show vulnerability. Perfection creates distance. Vulnerability creates connection. Share your struggles, your fears, your humanity. People connect with people, not robots. The most powerful speeches are emotional. Think about Martin Luther King Jr. "I have a dream" speech. It's not logical, it's emotional. And it moved millions, because emotion is what drives action. Part 3. Command attention without asking for it. You don't need to beg for attention, you just need to be worth listening to. How to command attention. 1. Start strong. The first sentence sets the tone. Don't start with apologies or filler, start with impact. Hi, sorry to interrupt, but I just wanted to share something. Strong. Here's what we need to do. 2. Speak with conviction. Hesitation repels attention, conviction commands it. 3. Use pauses strategically. Silence creates tension, and tension holds attention. Don't rush, pause, let your words land. 4. Make eye contact. Eye contact signals confidence and demands engagement. Don't stare at the floor or your notes, look at people. 5. Vary your pace and tone. Monotone is boring, variation is magnetic. Speed up for urgency, slow down for emphasis. Raise your volume for passion. Lower it for intimacy. Dynamic speech holds attention. Attention is earned, not given. People won't listen just because you're talking. They'll listen because you're worth listening to, so make every word count. Part 4. The language of leaders. Leaders don't just speak, they speak in a way that moves people to action. What leader language sounds like? Directive. Here's what we're doing. Vision. Imagine where we'll be in a year. Empowering. I trust you to handle this. Accountable. I take full responsibility. Leader language is clear, confident, and action-oriented. Words to youth. Let's now together. I believe this is what matters. These words create unity, urgency, and direction. Words to avoid. Maybe, I think, kind of. Does that make sense? Sorry, but. These words weaken your message. Your words shape reality. The language you use doesn't just describe reality, it creates it. So choose words that create the reality you want. Leader language, not follower language. Chapter 6. Stop waiting to become the leader, start acting like one. Part 1. Self-permission. Your first leadership decision. You're waiting for someone to make you a leader. No one's coming. Leadership doesn't start with permission, it starts with self-permission. You don't need a title to lead. Leadership is not a position, it's a behavior, and you can start behaving like a leader right now, without a title, without authority, without anyone's permission. How to give yourself permission. Step 1. Stop waiting. No one is going to tap you on the shoulder and say, "You're ready." Decide you're ready, and start. Step 2. Act like the leader you want to become. What would the leader version of you do in this situation? Do that. Step 3. Take initiative. Don't wait for someone to assign you the project. Start it yourself. Don't wait for someone to solve the problem. Solve it. Leaders don't wait for permission, they take action. Self-permission is the first act of leadership. The moment you decide, I'm going to lead here, you become a leader, not when someone else decides, when you decide. Part 2: Leading without title, taking space without approval. You don't need a corner office to lead, you just need the courage to act like a leader. How to lead without a title. 1. Speak first. Don't wait for someone else to break the silence. Be the one who starts the conversation. 2. Offer solutions. Don't just identify problems, solve them. 3. Take responsibility. When something goes wrong, don't point fingers, own it. 4. Support others. Leadership isn't about dominating, it's about elevating. Empower the people around you. Make them better. That's leadership. People follow behavior, not titles. You don't become a leader when you get promoted. You get promoted because you've already been acting like a leader. So start now. Act like the leader you want to become. Part 3: The behavior of leaders in moments of uncertainty. Anyone can lead when things are going well. Real leaders are defined by how they act in uncertainty. What leaders do when everything's falling apart. 1. They stay calm. When everyone's panicking, the leader is the one who stays grounded. 2. They create clarity. In chaos, people crave direction. Leaders provide it. 3. They make decisions, even when they don't have all the information, because indecision is worse than a wrong decision. 4. They take responsibility. Leaders don't blame, they own the outcome. Uncertainty is where leaders are made. Easy times don't create leaders, hard times do. So when things get uncertain, step forward. That's your moment. Part 4: The step forward principle. Leadership is simple. When everyone else steps back, you step forward. What does step forward mean? It means speaking when everyone's silent, taking action when everyone's waiting, offering a solution when everyone's complaining, taking responsibility when everyone's blaming. Stepping forward is the essence of leadership. How to practice the step forward principle. 1. In your next meeting, speak first. Don't wait for someone else. Break the silence. 2. When there's a problem, offer a solution. Don't just observe, act. 3. When everyone's hesitating, make the call. Decide, even if you're not 100% sure. 4. When someone needs help, help them. Don't wait to be asked. Step forward. The world needs you to step forward. The world is full of people waiting for someone else to lead. Be the one who steps forward, not because you're perfect, not because you have all the answers, but because someone has to, and it might as well be you. Conclusion. If you don't speak your truth, someone else will define it. Your voice is not a tool, it's your identity. Your voice is not just how you communicate, it's who you are. Every time you speak, you're declaring, this is who I am. This is what I believe. This is what I stand for. And every time you stay silent, you're letting someone else decide that for you. So speak, not because you have all the answers, not because you're perfect, but because your voice is your identity, and no one else gets to define it. Leadership begins with a single sentence. You think leadership is some grand, dramatic moment. It's not. Leadership starts with one sentence. One moment of courage, one decision to speak when everyone else is silent. That's it. That's where it begins. So in your next conversation, your next meeting, your next moment of doubt, speak just one sentence, and everything changes. Speak, even if your voice shakes, especially then. You're waiting to feel confident before you speak. You'll be waiting forever. Confidence comes after action, not before. So speak now, even if your voice shakes. Even if you're terrified, even if you stumble, because that shake, that's proof you're being brave, and bravery is the only thing that creates change. So speak, not someday, today. The final truth. You've been silent long enough, you've waited long enough, you've let fear win long enough. It's time to reclaim your voice, your power, your identity. Time to stop giving your voice away to fear, to doubt, to the comfort of silence. Time to speak, not perfectly, not fearlessly, just honestly, courageously, now, because the world doesn't need more silent people. It needs you, speaking your truth, leading, refusing to stay hidden. So take a breath, feel the fear, and speak anyway. Your voice is your power. It's time to use it. A new book,